Ever wondered why you got fat? Maybe because you ate a lot of shit, then you tried to diet for a while, you gave up because you couldn't control your hunger and then engaged yourself in the junk fest back again, gained even more weight. Sounds familiar? Well, I'm sure it does. Well, when you quit, you didn't disappoint everyone, at least not the dietitian who gave you the hypocaloric diet. She was counting on you to give up before you start realizing the diet was shit. It's called putting you on a guilt trip wherein you end up blaming yourself and will say something like, oh, the diet was amazing, I did lost to 5 to 6 kilograms, but then I couldn't continue. Well, poor you. Oh, now you're getting what I'm trying to say? Well, hang in there when I tell you, it wasn't your fault at all. You did not give up. The diet was designed for you to give up. It's just your body's natural response. Let's start from the basics. Well, your body can be thought of an array of small batteries or cells. These cells are what makes you. Each of these cells are equipped to generate energy by different kinds of fuel, and that's how your body runs. Your skin, your muscles, your tissues, your lungs, heart, brain, everything is made up of different types of cells. To sustain, these cells need energy from different kinds of fuel, the most prominent being glucose. Now when you eat any food, it gets converted to either amino acids from protein or fatty acids from fats or glucose from carbs, and these fuel sources need to be transported to different cells. For e.g., amino acids would be transported to your muscle cells for recovery and development. Same way glucose and fatty acids will be transported to your cells for energy metabolism. Now glucose is a primary source of fuel inside the body, especially driving bodily movements. This glucose is transported to all cells in the body via the bloodstream. So at any point in the body, there's some amount of glucose which is there in the blood, also called as the blood glucose or blood sugar. The typical range is 70 to 110 milligrams per deciliter. If the blood sugar falls below this, your body goes into a state of hypoglycemia, meaning less glucose in the blood, meaning less glucose delivery to the cells, and could lead to fatigue, nausea, passing out, coma, and even death. Also, if the blood sugar level rises above this, the body can go into a state called as hyperglycemia, wherein the excess amount of glucose circulates in the blood. This condition can also lead to diabetes. Now, of course, body isn't fool to be careless with such an important mechanism. So it has two hormones which keep the glucose levels balanced in your bloodstream. These two hormones are known as insulin and glucagon. Both these hormones are released via beta and alpha cells in pancreas, which is a small gland located near your stomach. While insulin drives blood glucose to cells or converts the excess glucose to stored fat, glucagon can break down stored carbs, glycogen, or stored fats and convert them into glucose to be further used by cells. Now don't be fooled by some people telling that insulin is critically important in driving glucose to cells. It's not. A large amount of glucose uptake happens in the body via diffusion or muscle contraction. So yes, people who have diabetes can build muscles too. Winking face. Now you'd be thinking, what the hell, what's insulin got to do with you feeling hungry? Well, I'm coming there. Hang in. You see, when you buy a new car, you put your foot on the accelerator and rev it more and more. Well, after a while, no thanks to your bad driving, the throughput suffers, the clutch plate wears out, and the response insta's great when you put your foot on the accelerator. In a much similar fashion, when you keep eating sweets, your fully functioning beta cells, which were highly responsive to the blood sugar levels, start becoming resistant. They do not produce adequate amount of insulin or produce a large amount of insulin with an increased level of blood glucose. Now all of it boils down to this. Look at the second picture. This is a normal person, having perfectly functioning beta cells. The insulin response is perfect. He eats a carb-rich meal, there's a rise in the blood glucose level, pancreas releases insulin which brings the blood glucose levels down, and everyone is happy. Look at the first picture now. This is a person who has developed insulin resistance. He eats a meal rich in carbs, blood glucose levels rise, but wait, the pancreas doesn't sense the rise. So the blood glucose levels keep rising. When the levels rise more, the pancreas detects the rise and releases more than normal amounts of insulin, which instead of just sweeping away only excess glucose, brings the glucose levels further down, leaving you in a state of low blood sugar. Well, you see, it's at this point of time, your body releases ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and you feel hungry. Keep eating carbs when you're insulin resistant throughout the day, and watch yourself starving and getting fat at the same time. Solution: eat foods that do not substantially raise glucose, for e.g. what's wrong is having a cheese omelette rather than a piece of bread? Now not only the hunger due to this insulin roller coaster will suppress, having more fats and protein release leptin as well, which is your satiety hormone, and you'd feel even less hungry. Try and recall the kind of foods that your dietitian gave you and how often, and you'll know it wasn't your fault. After all, if you're fit and fine and do not feel too hungry, you're not insulin resistant yet, but be careful. In India, almost 90% living in urban areas are, and they don't even know it yet. The philosopher in me says motivation comes from within. It comes from finding your own reasons to accomplish a challenge. It comes from the faith in oneself. It comes from the spirit of constant improvement which lies hidden in all of us. Others can inspire you from their quest journey reasons. Still, I would try to motivate you. You are hiding the beautiful self by few kilograms of body fat. Let's be yourself, and let's be the best version of yourself. Just look yourself at the mirror. You are still beautiful. The kilograms of fat is just putting a cover on your beauty, like a dust sprinkled on a shining book. You don't need anyone, you don't need any suggestion. You are the one who can change everything. Start the process of change as you and everyone close to you wants you to enjoy your moments even more. Your fitness does not just change the way you look. It just changes the way you feel. The changes in look are just the byproduct. Don't do it because others feel you should do it. Do it only if you believe in getting fit and enjoying all the moments to maximum. Let's start the process. Let's be slow and steady. Let's not succumb to fad diets and sudden changes. Let's the process be slow so that body can adopt. Let's leave sugar as it is the enemy. Let's first reduce it and slowly eliminate it. Let's remove too much salt and refined flour items. Be slow and steady. Let's run, this time run for life, run for living. Let's eat that green salad, yes, the one which you always end up hating. Be slow, chew it well, and let the love happen. Let's eat good amount of lean meat, avocado, peanut butter, eggs. Do not ignore these. Let's eat good amount of legumes, sprouted moong, sprouted Bengal gram, beans. They will help you in losing more fat. Let's replace refined flour bread with whole wheat bread. Let's include more of oats, sweet potato, quinoa in our diet. Let's drink 5 liters of water. Let's use apple cider vinegar before major meals. Let's do 20 minutes of intensive HIIT workout. Let's live some more, let's live the moments to fullest, let's not just breathe this time. I have done so. What's stopping you?